Good morning and welcome to our class in Basic School Management and Administration. Kumusta? I hope that you are feeling good and you are all right. Just keep safe and do always observe the protocols set by the IATF to make sure that you will not get contaminated by the virus COVID-19. So, in the previous lesson, we were talking about the different models in management. I hope that you are still able to remember the models that I introduced to you. Remember, there are three. We have the autocratic, participative, and delegative models. So this morning, our lesson would be about the qualities of a good leader. At the end of the lesson, it is expected that all of you will be able to enumerate and describe each of the quality that should be developed and possessed by a leader. And also, you should be able to illustrate the importance of the development of these qualities in relation to good leadership. Well, some would say that leaders are born. That is true. But in most cases, leadership is being developed together with the qualities and characteristics that should be possessed by a person who is striving to become a leader. So today, I am going to introduce to you some qualities of a good leader. First and foremost is self-confidence. Self-confidence. You, being a future teacher, should as early as now develop the quality of self-confidence. Self-confidence will make you able to face people, to associate with people, and even to manage people. If a person who is aiming to become a leader doesn't have self-confidence, then in no way that person will be able to manage and lead a group of people. Self-confidence is important. The second good quality of a leader is accountability. The leader must have the feeling of accountability. What do we mean by accountability? When we speak of accountability, this is the feeling of being responsible to what you are doing and also being responsible to the welfare of your subordinates or to the members of your organization. So, being a classroom teacher, you are accountable to your pupils or to your students so that whatever will happen to them, you take responsibility. And so with that, as much as possible, being accountable, you will also protect the interest and defend your pupils, your learners, from any harm. Just like you are a second parent to your learners. You are accountable, you are responsible to your pupils or learners. Another quality that should be developed by anyone who strives to become a leader is the sense of integrity. Integrity. What do we mean by integrity? Have you heard about integrity? Do you think you are a person with integrity? In an ordinary understanding, when we speak about integrity, it talks about being truthful to what you say so that other people can develop trust and confidence in you. So that when you say it is black, it is really black. And when you say it is white, it is really white. You are being consistent to what you say and what you do. In that way, you will develop integrity. Okay? So, this is a problem with other people That's why it is very difficult for us to trust people, other people, because we cannot feel that that person possesses integrity. We do not know what is in his mind. But a person who has integrity can be trusted with his words because what he say is what he means. Another quality of a good leader is humility. Humility. Humility doesn't mean that you will not acknowledge the good qualities that you have. Humility is accepting what is true. Humility means you are able to show to other people what you have, not because you want to brag about it, but because you want others to be inspired. The humility is a quality that makes a person acknowledges or recognizes of his failures, of his mistakes. A person who is humble is one who accepts defeats. During those times that we still had the conduct of intramural celebration, that is one way to test the humility of a person, because there are losers who cannot just accept their loss. They want to fight. They don't have the humility to accept defeat. But there are those people also who will acknowledge that they are really defeated in that particular event, and they are being sports, acknowledging their defeat, and of course celebrating the success of other people. So a good leader is someone who practices humility. He is humble in recognizing all his strengths as well as his capability, and of course respecting other people under his or her care. Important characteristic of a good leader is courage. Courage or braveness. If you are a leader, you should be courageous. You should be brave, especially if it is your organization that is at stake. A person who is a leader is also courageous enough, brave enough to fight for his principle, to fight for what is true and what is right. A person who is courageous, a person who has courage, will not keep silent on the abuses that he observes around him. He cannot be silent and he cannot be blinded on the evil deeds that are happening in the organization or in the community. That is one quality of a good leader, courage. Also, important to a good leader is emotional intelligence. Of course, we are familiar with IQ or intellectual quotient, but we also have EQ or emotional quotient. So when we speak about emotional quotient, this will lead us also to emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a skill or a capability of an individual to control his emotions. It is normal for us to be emotional. There are times that we are emotional because as a human being, we are both intellectual and emotional. We have our intelligence, but we also have our emotions. But sometimes, especially if the situation is overwhelming, emotions cannot just be controlled. But for a person who has emotional intelligence, he is a person who is able to control his emotions himself. And at the same time, he is also able to understand the feeling, the emotions that are being felt by the people around him or her. A person with emotional intelligence is a person who recognizes that what pains him will also be painful to others. He knows and understands the feeling of other persons. And with that, he is able to also control his own feelings and emotions. Of course, another important quality and characteristic of a good leader is honesty. Honesty. This is a common term, honesty, but it is just difficult for us to always to be consistent in practicing honesty, being true to what we say, being true to what we feel. That is why at this moment, common of hearing about plastic people. Plastic. Because these are the kind of people who have so many things hidden. What they show is not actually what is real. They may be showing beauty, happiness in the outside, but they are lonely and sad inside. But being honest is being true, not only to oneself, but also to others. We should be honest in what we do, in what we feel, and in what we think. And of course, in what we say. Remember that honesty will make you a person of integrity, a person who is dependable, a person who is reliable. And the last quality that should be developed and possessed by anyone who aims to become a leader is transparency. Transparent. We commonly hear this in the government. The government is emphasizing transparency in all government transactions. Meaning to say, it is just the application of the saying, what you see is what you get. You are being transparent. You hide nothing. You show everything to everybody. Okay? So that sometimes you see in barangays or in municipalities, after they have celebrated the fiesta, then near the main entrance of the chapel or the church, you can see the list of donors with their respective contribution. So that is being transparent. Some organizations would also conduct regular presentation of financial statements wherein all the members can see the amount that is generated and also the expenses, how the money is being spent. That is being transparent. A good leader is someone who doesn't hide something from the members of the organization. And as teachers, you will be leader in your own classroom, and that is why it is also important that you will develop these characteristics and qualities. Because as you will be dealing with your students, as you will be dealing with your learners, these qualities will play in the way we associate with our students. If we are a person who do not have the integrity, then our students would have the difficulty to believe in what we say. If we are not honest to our students, then our students will also not trust us. So you see, these qualities are important not only to be developed by leaders, but also important to be developed by us teachers, by you who will become a future teacher. So, I will be giving you activities in our Google Classroom. Kindly do all those activities because those are supplemental activities that will make you develop an in-depth understanding of the topics that we discussed this morning. And of course, if ever you have questions and things that you want to be clarified, do not hesitate to chat me no, through the private message, or you can have it raised in our group chat. Again, I wish you well. Please take care always and pray that everything will be alright. That would be all. Thank you and good day.